Hey guys, what's up? My name is Zach, and today I'm doing an election prediction between Senator Elizabeth Warren and President Donald Trump. So Elizabeth Warren is a senator from Massachusetts. She's considered to be a progressive, although obviously compared to Bernie Sanders, Bernie Sanders is obviously more progressive than her. But regardless, she's still considered to be a progressive Democrat, a major movement for the feminist movement amongst the Democratic Party. And one of the front runners for the 2020 election. Alright, so let's just run through the safe states. Washington, Oregon, California, Alaska. And I also have a new system for the shading. I know I keep changing it. These past few videos, I'm just still trying to figure out one that works. I'll explain it in a second once I'm done filling in safe states. Okay. So the system that I'm doing now is that, so if it's solid, either color, that means even if it's in, so let's just use Washington as an example. This is solid blue, so that means even in Trump's best case scenario against Warren, he would not win Washington. That's what the solid means, that this would stay in Warren's column even in our worst case scenario. Same goes with red, same goes with the solid color in general. If it's a lighter shade, let me just move to that. If it's say this shade, this lighter red, that means that it's possible for it to go to Warren if it's her best case scenario, but not very likely. And if it's this very light shade of red, that means that that it can go either way almost. That if it was a little bit better for Warren, that she could take it. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions about that, feel free to comment. Okay, so let's run through the states now. So for Texas, I think that even if it's Warren's best case scenario, she wouldn't win Texas. So in this case, Texas would be solid red. New Mexico, I think that if it were Trump's best case scenario, it would be this shade of red. Overall, I don't think Warren's a very good candidate. I think that she's probably one of the worst candidates that Democrats could run in 2020. I mean, not one of the worst, but she's a potential candidate, and she's probably one of the worst potential candidates that Democrats could run. Yeah. So, I forgot to fill in West Virginia. And Indiana would also be solid red in this case. For Warren, I think that it's likely that she'll win Minnesota. Same with Michigan. I think that both these states are likely to go to her, but not completely solid. Same with these two electoral votes up here. I mean, she is from the Northeast, so I think she could appeal to the state at large. Colorado I'll come back to. Virginia, I'm leaning on doing it either this shade or this shade. I think that even if it's Elizabeth Warren, it would be pretty likely to go to her. The state's seeing a Democratic trend in general, hasn't gone red in a lot of election cycles, so I'd still consider it to be this shade, even if it's Warren. New Hampshire, I consider this likely. I mean, given Trump's comments on the state, which I don't think will play very well for him, come 2020, once that's played on TVs in New Hampshire, of him calling the state a drug-infested den. I think that'll play well for him. She's also from the Northeast, so I think that she could win this state. However, the 2nd District, I think, would be likely to go to Trump, given the margin it went to him back in 2016, and given Warren's just lack of approval to voters up there. I think that it'd be likely to go to her. Georgia, I don't think that she could win Georgia even in her best case scenario. I don't think that's possible. I wouldn't say that for a lot of candidates, for a lot of Democratic contenders in general. I don't think that Georgia's very likely, even in their best case scenario, to go to the Democrats in 2020. I think that's a few election cycles down. Same with Arizona. I don't think that that's likely to go to Warren at all, even in her best case scenario. She just doesn't have the appeal to flip a state like Arizona. Colorado, I think that that's just going to be lean. That's going to be lean because I don't think she has a very good appeal to voters, especially in the Midwest. and I think that it'd be a lean. I think that if Trump had a moderately better campaign than Warren, he would be able to win Colorado. However, for Nevada, given polls in Nevada currently, I think that Trump's approval rating is slightly over 50% in Nevada, which is kind of significant given that this state is considered by most to be Democratic, and nationally overall his approval is down, but not for Nevada, so I would call that a lean for Trump. Same with Wisconsin. I think that this would be a lean towards Trump. I don't think Warren could have very good appeal to voters here. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. I don't think that Warren will be able to appeal to Wisconsin voters, and I think that Trump could pick up this state. And just in general, I mean, think about how Warren would do in debates with Trump. She would get crushed in a debate with Trump. I don't think that she has I don't think she's a very good debater. I think that she'll come across as whiny, if anything, in debates. And I think that Trump would probably do significantly better than her in debates in general. So with that same logic, I would call Iowa as likely to go to Trump, given the margin went to him in 2016. And I know his approval rating is down in the state, but keep in mind that Warren is not the best candidate for the Democrats to run. Same goes with Nebraska's second. I think that Nebraska's second, the demographic here is very similar to that of the entire state of Iowa. I think that most likely if a Democratic candidate is going to win Iowa, they probably are going to win Nebraska's second as well, just given the similarity in demographics. That was the case for Obama when he won the second and Iowa back in 2008. Okay. North Carolina, I think, is likely Trump, but not solid. His approval rating is still dismally low here, and yeah, I think that'd be likely, not a lean. Pennsylvania, I think that this would be lean Trump. I think that come 2020, if Warren is the candidate the Democrats choose, she will not be able to ignite voters in Pennsylvania. And keep in mind that Warren does not have a lot of minority appeal. At most, she has some women's appeal and some maybe LGBT appeal, but not a lot of minority appeal. And if you're a Democrat, that's what you have to have in order to win elections. And then with that same logic for Pennsylvania, I think that Pennsylvania definitely would go to Trump, but I don't know whether it'd be likely or leaning. I'm going to say likely. I think that would likely go to Trump in an election between Warren and Donald Trump. All right, so now it comes down to the state of Florida on who's going to win, and that's the state that I think is going to be the most difficult to call. Because like I said, Warren does not have a tremendous amount of appeal. I don't think that she can drive out Latino voters in this state. However, she does have women's appeal and LGBT appeal, and that is a lot more effective in Florida than you think in places like Miami and Tampa. When it comes to the LGBT appeal. But like I said, and also with the whole gun movement, the whole anti-gun movement originating in Florida in the first place, that gives an advantage to Democrats in 2020 no matter who the candidate is, I think. But even with those two things considered, in order to win Florida, if you ask me, you have to have Latino turnout. That is essential. You can have LGBTQ turnout, you can have women's turnout, but you have to have the Latino turnout. So for that reason, I would give Florida a lean to Trump. And this is the first election prediction that I would call for Trump, or at least so far in my election predictions. And that's just because Warren, I think overall, is a pretty poor candidate for Democrats to run. I think that she's just... I mean, if you ask me, I think she's just a whinier and a little bit less qualified Hillary Clinton. I know I know not a lot of people are going to be happy with that comment, but I mean, she is. Hillary Clinton was qualified. I think she's probably one of the most skilled politicians in the United States. Well, maybe not today, but I think she was one of the most skilled politicians in the United States, given her career just decades through politics. Warren may be a well-known figure, but she's just a senator. She hasn't had a lot of... she hasn't had nearly as much experience in the political field as Hillary Clinton, and Hillary Clinton still lost to Donald Trump. So with all those factors that I've mentioned throughout the video considered, this would be my election prediction. Okay, so that's the video. Before I close it, I know I was out for a little bit. I've just been busy with AP review and region studying in general. The school year is coming to a close. But I did check up, and one of my videos, it was the Senate prediction video, Senate prediction, got I think like over 160 views, which kind of shocked me. I mean, that's a lot more than any of my other videos. I don't know why that video got so much compared to the others, just seemingly out of nowhere. But thank you guys so much for that. That was a nice surprise for me, and I hope to continue to grow this channel. I hope to continue to put out content for you guys. So thank you so much, and yeah, have a good day.